Well, welcome to the February 24th, 2022 meeting of the Revitalization Trust Fund. Today we have most of our members here and hopefully a few others to join us in a short time. We had a little problem with the link, but we're now ready to go. We have Jessica and Mary Ruth and Carol and myself, and hopefully we'll be joined by the other members very shortly. So I will start with the formalities here that in order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. As such, the government's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded, so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. So that's how we'll kick it off. And let's start on the agenda. Number one, from Needham to the world, yes, we did have a frame problem, but I think that's going to be resolved shortly. And I did a test today where we took the 4x8 format instead of the slightly larger format, which allowed us to be able to solve some problems in terms of being able to actually even get the materials, which have been in short supply, down to a size that would make it easier to be able to acquire those materials. so we've basically been, working with the conditions we have to be able to get this to launch. And on the test today, with a 4-foot by 8-foot image, that it looked very nice in the wall. We literally printed one out, put it as a test, put it up on the wall, and then I basically, looked at it all different angles, went over to the town common, looked across from there and so on. And it's plenty large enough. The sight lines are right for being able to read the text when you walk up to it on the sidewalk, when it's centered on the panel there at the Needham Center Fine Wines. And so tomorrow morning, I'm going to give them a go ahead to be able to get the recut frame to be able to fit that 4x8 format. Actually, we make it slightly smaller than 4x8 so that we can trim the backer board to the exact dimensions of what they send us. But anyway, I think we've made a giant leap forward, and we should be able to, as the weather starts to get warmer, fingers crossed, that the be able to be installed sometime during March, I hope. And we would anticipate being able to have the kickoff to the program sometime during April. We're going to see if we can reach out to Sunita, and one of two things. One is that we're hoping that she might record just on her phone a short video that will give her some parameters for that would match up to the format of the actual display, and it's embedded basically in a QR code that is right underneath the text box where Sunita talks about how she's progressed through the Navy and how she came to be an astronaut and that type of thing. So we thought it'd be really cool that by using this QR code, people could walk up and then be able to actually right on their phone have Sunita, give a greeting and say hello to them and talk to them for a minute or so. And I tested the QR code with the sample. Right now, we have it going to a Revitalization Trust Fund promotional video, and it all worked great. So, giant leap forward. through the different obstacles we've had to dodge at this particular time in the world, but so that's all good. And as I said, I'm hoping that we'll be able to be installed with the frame during March, and then have the first display up and kicked off with some fanfare in April, when it's warm enough for people to actually stand outside. Alrighty, let's see. The Charles River cleanup. I don't have any real updates about that, other than what I told you last month, that that we'd done a little. I'd done a little cleanup of a section that we're talking to both Park and Rec, and through those connections, the DPW, to work on a time in the spring where we can actually clean the whole street from the debris that collects on the, particularly on the Ridge Hill side, but do it in a safe manner, because it requires a DPW supervision and a truck to be able to block the area while people are walking and things like that. So we're working on that, and I'll let you know if we have any updates on that next month. Let's see. Well, I don't, Marcus is just coming in now. So it's great. I don't have any specifics. Hey, Marcus.
I sorry, I had to go into work today, and so I'm in the car. So
That's okay. Well, with the links we had a little trouble anyway, so we're all good.
Oh, good.
Thanks for coming. We just got to actually the T-Mobile thing, and do you have any updates on that? I don't have anything on my end yet.
No, I don't have any updates today on that. So we can maybe postpone that for next month.
Yeah, because and between now and then, why don't we catch up with a phone call and make sure that that all the things that I know that I'm supposed to be collecting in terms of support letters and so on, if there are any other details that you know of that we need to pull together, so we can get this application in. Why don't we do that, and we'll catch up during the next few weeks. Since he's on mute, I'm assuming that that's going to be a yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, absolutely, that's fine.
It's okay.
That's good.
Let's see. Let me just check one other thing here. I don't have any updates on the Sky Poetry banner, other than the fact that we're working on a design. Well, let me say, on the banner for the Eaton Square Plaza. One of the things that's in consideration, as we talked about last month, is the Sky Poetry one. But based on the feedback that you guys all gave in terms of being able to kick off a banner for the Revitalization Trust Fund, and especially, as Amy pointed out, that we are going to have a very concentrated effort to have Eaton Square be the sort of the alternate town common gathering area, as that between that and Greens Field, while the common is being renovated over the course of the rest of 2022, actually, so that it should get very high visibility. And we're working on being able to come up with some a preliminary design for that, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So we can have it ready to go when the spring hits, and we can get the banners up there ASAP. So that is the update with that. Let's see if there's anything else here that we can. Let's see.
Mary Ruth's newsletter.
Yep, that's Mary
Okay.
Ruth.
Yep. Okay. So what I've got so far, one of the things I have to do, I think, Paul, don't I need to create a landing page?
Well, what we can do is we can actually link something from the newsletter directly to an opt-in page. And
Yeah,
and I can
okay.
create.
Well, we could create that on this with the same AWeber
Yes.
thing, I believe, because I've been looking at it and I just that's not what anyway. So what I did was I have an outline of it. Of course, it's written. It's not on the It's not on the thing. But so what I wanted to do is we'll do a first newsletter and it's a welcome one and plan. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be quarterly. If it really takes off, we'll do it monthly. So there are even bi-monthly. So the first one will tell who we are and what we do. And so what we'll do is we'll say these are some of the projects. I'm going to highlight the most visible projects, things that people are absolutely going to be familiar with, but have no idea where they came from.
Okay.
I mean, some people will know, but the ones that donated, but no one else is going to know. So, you know, like the banners, because people love the banners. So I'll do that. I'll do the circle on the common. We have pictures of everything. So I'm just going to do a few. I don't want to, because I'd like to be able to keep dropping them in all along, either as a background across the top, but for every newsletter, I'll just keep posting different ones. So then we'll describe how we get our funding, and it's all donations, that it's no town funds is spent. So, and it's true, we can say that no funds are spent either for installation or upkeep. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Then I'm going to attach a short behind the projects video. I think that will catch people's attention. So what I would like to do is I would really like to have all of the people on the committee do a very brief description of how they're involved. You know, like I would say I've lived in Needham for, you know, for many years. I have been involved in beautification projects through the Women's Club. I was very happy to join this committee because we're, you know, keeping up with that, you know, whatever. But so that's what I mean, you know, say your name and a little bit of something. So if you'd send it to me, I don't want to put a lot in, but I think it would be a good idea to let, when we send it out, so people know who's on the committee, that we're not invisible, even if they don't know who we are. It would be good to do that. So I'd like a little picture. If you have one, doesn't have to be a great picture, just a little picture. And I will just post them with a little biography. So I think that's, you know, it's going to be brief because it's going to be posted on Facebook. It'll be on Instagram. So what I really want to do is make it brief so that people will actually read it and look it all over. And then I think we'll follow up more quickly than a quarter, but I'm going to just say it's quarterly in case that does turn out to be the case, but we'll follow it up a little more quickly than that with another newsletter, just so they won't forget who we are before they remember to send their money.
And inside the letter, we'll have a link to be able to sign up for whatever, you know, I mean.
Right, that's why that's what the landing page would do. It would have the donate button on it. The landing page would be the same every single time. We would have our website. We'd have our website on it, and it would have, if you look in the software, the Weber software, there's a whole section on setting up a landing page, and they have templates, and they have, I don't know if we'll use one, but there's some good information there about how to set it up, and it's not like it's a big deal, but we need to have people be able to get in touch with us.
Right.
And the landing page would give them that option. Any questions? Suggestions?
Oh, sounds good.
I have tons of pictures. I have the videos. You know, as soon as I figure out how to plug them all in, I have all the information except for what I need.
Mary Ruth, we can also put a link to the newsletter on the town's social media pages.
Oh, great. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Also, I manage the committees that I support. I manage their pages on the town website. So I could even put something on the NCRTF's page saying, you know, newsletters with a link. Can you remind me again, what is the program that you're using?
A
A
Weber.
Weber, is that what it is? A Weber, AWEBER.
Okay,
They've been around for a very long time, so they have a lot of affiliate connections.
Yeah, Paul has a contract, I assume, and he just hooked me up with it. I'm just familiarizing myself with it, but it appears to be, I think I'll be able to plug everything in once I do it once, then I'll be able to do it from there on out. But I have plenty of information. It's not that, it's the setting it up and getting it launched. Thank you. That'd be wonderful if you could do that. If anybody just wanted to forward it to people, share it from their own personal,
Sure.
that would be great. And like it, please like it. Because otherwise it won't go anywhere. Okay, I think that's it for me.
Okay, well, that's great. That's great. And if you run into any, obviously, as always, if you run into any snags with the figuring out the Weber, just reach out. I'll help you get through whatever you need to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so do you want to create that opt-in page since you know the instructions and so on?
Yeah, I found it really interesting. I'm going to try it.
Good.
But I didn't want to do it until I talked to you about it. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. Good. And
Yeah.
I'll let you see it.
Go
before
for
we
it.
do. Yeah. Okay.
Because the more familiar you are with doing these things,
I know.
that the more excited you'll be about being able to use it in new ways. So
Right. It'll just be fun to use. Thank you.
all right. Let's see. That's for the, Chapel Street. Oh yeah, it's Chapel Street banners. Anybody else have any more final comments about the newsletter or any things we think we should be able to include in it? Jessica or Marcus?
Just please send me a brief.
Yeah.
3 sentences or whatever. Or 20 and I'll just pare it down. I mean, whatever.
You should. Yeah,
Mary Ruth, did you want it in print or a video? I didn't catch that part.
Oh, just print. Just send me a brief
Okay.
little biography with a picture. Because I'm going to introduce everyone on the committee in the first newsletter.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
that way, if they're not scared away by that, then they might continue to the second newsletter.
Right. Is this all of us?
Not quite. We're still
I
missing
didn't think so.
Eric. Yeah.
Would you is
Brad.
Brad still with us?
Yes. Eric and Brad are the ones that right now I either hadn't been able to link in or.
All right, would you make sure that they send me, would you send
Yeah.
them to
Yeah, I'll make a note right here and
see if ask them to send it to me and with a picture, please?
all right. And and for all of us who are on here, you should have Mary Ruth's email address in the emails that you see come in. But if you want to, I think you can do this. You could just post the email address in the chat here and people could copy it out.
Okay, I will. Let me see if I can, I can't. I think you can, the leader can chat. I don't think everybody else can. I don't have a chat button on here.
no. Nope, there's,
No, we got a raise hand, but we don't have chat.
Right.
Well, check the email that comes out to you for the meeting because they should have all the email addresses
Right.
available. And if not, contact me.
Q&A.
and
Maybe
I'll-
I could, in there. Oh, no, I can't either.
Yeah.
I was gonna stick it in the Q&A. Let's see if I can. No. No, I can't. I tried to stick it in Q&A and I can't.
Okay. Well, no problem. Anyway, and as I said, if anybody can't find it, I think all of you know how to reach me, and you certainly
Or
can
me.
have my phone number. Yeah, or if you have Mary
Yeah.
Ruth's telephone number, just call her.
Yeah.
Because one or the other will get them all in there. That's great. And thank you to everyone actually for doing that, because, this, I think it's a really, I think it's a great thing to be able to have people know who's on the committee.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, we're sort of in the background. People don't really see, who's on the committee or what's being done. And we're trying to be able to change that in both ways,
But you also have to give a human face to things.
Yeah.
You really do. It's important.
And doggone it, some people might actually know you. So
I know. Maybe. Yeah,
so-
maybe they'll give us money.
hey, isn't that, I didn't know you were on the committee.
Exactly.
All right, that's good. Just some updates as far as the Chapel Street banner showcase goes for signups. We have the community council. Their banner is basically going to the March, what was it, 4th or 6th select board meeting, whenever the first meeting in March is.
March is, we're scheduled for March 24th.
No, I'm saying the select board meeting.
Oh, the select board.
Yeah.
Okay. A little different.
Yeah, they're going to give, they approve it in their,
Are they on Tuesdays?
yes, it's always on Tuesday.
March 8th then.
8th, okay, that's what it is. So
First
March
Tuesday is March 8th.
is where it's scheduled to be put on their consent agenda. So that will be approved. So I can, on the 9th, they're already working with Fast Signs to be able to get the design all ready to go. And on the 9th, I'll give them the go ahead. I presume that it's a very easy thing to approve, because there's not really nothing complicated or controversial. So it's going to be good. And so they'll go ahead, they'll get the banners produced over the next couple of weeks after that. And then they're already set up to be able to go up on April 1st. And they actually have both April and September set up. So that's fantastic. So we'll get to see them twice. Needham Open Studios contacted me, and they're back, which is great. We've had a couple of years of no art. It's like, not being able to have Gorse Mills open and not have to, a lot of the things that we really, we're able to take advantage of in terms of the local art. This is terrific to be able to get back into the swing of this. So
Yeah.
they'll be there for May. And Charles River is doing, the Charles River Center is also signed up for April and May. So we're continuing to, to do things to book this out. I know that the farmer's market is going to be up for May, to either May or June, because they open on the first, I think the first week of June.
No, it's the second Sunday in June.
2nd in June. So, yeah, so they'll, that'll be another one that will be signed up for. And it's, my hope is that we've got a few more, one of them being, either Rotary or those guys that'll go back into doing potentially a pancake breakfast and some of the other things that they do, which would coincide with having their banners go up. And of course, the more people that take advantage of being able to, of the nonprofits to be able to take advantage of Chapel Street showcase, the more it supports the Revitalization Trust Fund. So we can do more cool stuff and create more things. So that's that. And see if there's anything else that I have missed on the agenda here. Just additional ideas for sponsorship. We're always looking for ways to be able to bring in more sponsors. One of the things that we're looking to do is to be able to very actively, and I'm starting to work on this now, look for sponsors for the Eaton Square Art Gallery and sponsors for the Ridge Hill wall mural. basically, the mission is to be able to have both these projects funded so that they can go up in 2022. And, if it's possible to be able to get them up, earlier versus later, it would obviously be a great thing because of the shift off the town common and, the extra activity that will be over right in the area where the art gallery would be. And certainly, the Ridge Hill wall mural is something that, there's lots of activity in the Walgreens parking lot. So, that would add a big spark to the overall energy in downtown.
Well, how's there gonna be activity in Eden Square? What's happening over there? Are they gonna put tables and stuff like that over there?
Well, Amy can speak to that.
Amy?
Yeah, so the town common is going to undergo renovations starting in the spring. The date to be determined based on weather and the supply chain and labor, all those things combined. But the town common basically is going to be inaccessible to the public starting in the spring and through the fall. So we are looking for alternate locations for public gathering space. Since COVID, the town put up a tent on the common, which was very widely used by people coming to Needham Center and getting takeout from local restaurants or meeting up with it. I work in town hall and just looking out the front window or walking by people of all ages. It's so cool to see. I see grandparents with small children. I see parents, I see middle schoolers coming on their half days and gathering around, having pizza and playing Frisbee when there was cornhole out there. So it's widely used by a pretty broad variety of people here in Needham. But anyways, so it's not going to be available. So we were looking for alternate locations, and Eaton Plaza is one of the locations that we were looking at for potentially maybe putting a tent there, or at least some kind of shade structure and additional seating. Greensfield is the other location that we are looking at as well, because I think people will really miss the public gathering space if it's not available this year. So there would definitely be more foot traffic in Eaton Plaza.
Good. Great.
So, Paul, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, and we had chatted a little bit about this, is that I wonder if there's a way to have a central sort of location for the sponsorship information that maybe everybody on the committee could take a look at, just to see maybe who the current donors are, who the prospects are, and then maybe another area just for people to share ideas. Hey, had you thought about approaching this business or this company? Because we may all have relationships. Certainly as, a town staff, I can't reach out, but I could maybe provide some suggestions, but maybe, it may turn out that a member's next door neighbor works for, a company that might be interested. Like, oh, well, my next door neighbor actually is in the HR department of such and such. You just never know. So if it was in one area, that maybe we could all take a look at it and come up with some thoughts as to how we can increase our outreach to sponsors.
And when we talk about the one area, I know that the town website is supposed to be going through a renovation.
Yes, it is. So that's separate. I'm talking about more of sort of a document that like a Google spreadsheet that the committee could access. So you could, again, list, here are the donors that have been secured and here's what project they've been secured for. And then here are the prospects. Does anybody have any warm leads? And then here is another area for suggestions that maybe there are foundations or local businesses or regional companies that might be interested in supporting that aren't even on our radar.
Okay, no, that sounds great. So this would be something that the idea is that it will be used internally to our committee, but it would give everyone in the committee a broader understanding of what types of things we're pursuing, what kinds of contacts we're looking for, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So why don't we do this as far as how about if we set up just a time to talk, maybe next week. And if you have time, and then we'll basically nail down the specifics of what you think would really be valuable on this, and then I can put together the Google Doc or whatever form that we need to be able to use to be able to do this.
Sure.
And we'll put it in place, and then we can send out a link to the committee to access it.
Okay.
So do you want me to just give you a call next week? And
Sure.
okay, I'll call you next week, and we'll at the first of the week, and we can find a spot that works for you, and we'll do it. Great.
Jessica, you look like you have something to say.
I was going to wait until everyone was done. I did have an idea, and it comes with a couple of questions. So I'd be curious to hear what people think about this. So first, I'll tell you where I'm stealing this idea from. So every once in a while in the summer, my husband and kids and I will go to an ice cream shop in Norwood Center. It's called Daddy's Dairy. It's pretty good. Has a lot of different flavors, and it's open until 10, which is nice because the ice cream places in Needham all close at 9, which I think that's how we discovered this place, is we wanted ice cream at 9:30. So, but what's nice about it is in the summer, it's they have I don't know if you've been to Norwood Center in the summer, but they have a similar idea with tents and picnic tables as we do in our center. But at night, there's a lot of lights. So there are a lot of string lights, and it's just very illuminating. And it's really pretty, and it has a really festive kind of warm feeling. It definitely attracts your attention when you drive by. I mean, you can't miss it. It kind of attracts your attention, and you kind of wonder what's going on. And but it's very pretty. It's very sort of fun and festive. So I wonder if something like that, number one, I wonder if it's within our purview as a committee to consider some kind of illumination project like that for the nighttime. And then, but I was also kind of thinking through, obviously this might have to wait until 2023 because of the construction we've been talking about, or maybe that helps attract people to a different location. If it's, it's kind of interesting lights, and people might wander over there. As I mentioned, I think if not all of the restaurants close at 9. So that doesn't leave a huge amount of time between sunset and, when places start to close down. But, but maybe the purpose is not just to get people to gather on the common, but it's just sort of pretty to look at. So if people are coming out of the restaurants at 9 o'clock and there's a really beautiful, light display in front of them, maybe that, and it illuminates some of the things on the common that we've been involved in, the statues and all of that. So that's kind of a long drawn out question, I guess. But I guess first of all, I wondered if that's the kind of thing that our committee would do. And then I was just kind of thinking through the logistics of, how it would work, where it would work, when it would work. But it is a really nice feature, I think. And I think it would sort of attract people's attention. And there's kind of a good feeling about being out in the evening when you're looking at something pretty like that. So.
Well, first I would defer to Amy to give some commentary in terms of, because this will all be obviously done in conjunction with town property. So what are your thoughts about it, Amy, off the top of your head?
So originally, one of the things that was proposed for Needham Common was the ability to be able to illuminate it at night. I don't know where that stands as far as the final design. It's gone through several iterations, and it did go in front of the planning board recently. So let me get my hands on the final design to share, but I do know that one of the things that was suggested was to provide more light at night. And in fact, one of the things that have been proposed is sort of having the sort of permanent footings to be able to put poles in to then string lights across, very similar to what you're saying, Jessica. And I've been to Norwood Center at night, and I agree. I think it's very festive, and it draws people in, and it creates a vibrancy that I think is something that we can all agree would be terrific to, increase the vibrancy as much as possible in Needham Center. So let me find out what the final plans are before we go down this path too much further, because it may be that what it is that we're talking about that excites us is already in the works and actually will be ready to go come this time next year. So let me, I'm writing myself a note right now to get the final plans, and I'll share that with all of you.
Great.
That's
Thank you.
great. No, thanks, Jessica. I mean, that's, and it's great. That's the thing, you know, being able to go around to in different towns, see what kind of features or elements that really, you know, spark energy and positivity, and, you know, just make people feel good at being around them. You know, the more things we can draw on to be able to bring some of that, you know, feeling and experience to the things we do in, you know, the unique circumstances that we have to work with. So that's great. Yeah. Yeah. Keep your eyes out on anything you see. Feel free to,
I will.
yeah.
May I have a comment about if it can't work.
What's
Never
that?
mind. If it couldn't work on the town common, what about Greens Field?
That may be another option. It's town-owned property.
Yeah, this is Marcus. I really like that idea. What about Eaton Square? If they were trying to attract people there, that might be actually a good place if the town common is not available, and that will. I think someone was saying earlier that there would be like tables and chairs out there, so that might be a natural gathering place.
I mean, half the town have those lights in their backyards, you know, the ones that go all around and they look so nice. It would be great to have something like that, even if it's just temporary. Just for the, you know, for the time that until the common is up and running and has the lights. They're all, you know, the light, if they are installing them, it would be nice to have it for this year and to bring people out.
Yeah. Yeah. And to get, and I think, you know, one of the very positive things of having the common, you know, not accessible and shifting people to Eaton Square is that I think it'll definitely expand the perspective on the possibilities of using Eaton Square in a variety of different ways. It was, you know, originally part of the original plan was to be able to have music there, to be able to have, you know, different events there, that different organizations could use Eaton Square as a, you know, as a place to do small events and do music. In fact, that the way that the swirl is done on the pavement there was the sort of the homage to a bandstand. So that's why, and it has electric and water there. So I know that Greens Field, that Jeff had said that the town is actually working on getting electric installed at Greens Field so that the farmers market can be there during this time. And that, you know, creates additional future possibilities once those types of, you know, accessible services are, you know, are actually in place. So I think, you know, there are a variety of good things that will come out of this, including in the end, a really beautiful town common with a whole nother lighting scheme, right? So we'll see how that, you know, that pans out. Any other comments, Marcus, Jessica, Carol, Mary Ruth? All righty. Well, basically, that covers the agenda for this week. And so, you know, I think if we don't have anything additional, that we can call it a wrap and do it officially. So thank you all for having been here and be able to share the comments and help us keep moving forward on these things. We'll all look for ways of being able to get, more sponsorship connections in as we move into the, into 2022. And obviously the focus on the art gallery and the wall mural are the two projects that we really want to be able to get funded. That Amy's idea of being able to put sort of a consolidated piece together to keep all of us informed about the types of projects that we're working on and where we want to be able to find connections, I think is great. And we'll get that set up in the next couple of weeks. Certainly have it done. We should have it set up and ready to go by our next meeting.
I have a question I just thought of. Can we can put links in the newsletter, right?
Absolutely.
So why, it would be good maybe to have links for those two projects,
Sure.
to describe them and say that we're looking for sponsorships for them,
Yes. Well,
and have that each time, every time we have that as, have some links for the upcoming projects, just have that as a separate, little thing, upcoming projects, and then, looking for sponsorships or whatever, and have people be able to. So I'll need, some graphics if I can get them for those two projects.
well, I have something better than that. I shot 2 videos to describe it. So I will
Okay, good.
send you the videos for actually 3 projects. I have videos for the Eaton Square Art Gallery, for the Ridge Hill wall mural, and for the Thorpe Park signal box wrap.
Okay.
With Eddie Bruckman. So yes, so I will send those to.
Thank you.
We'll link in the newsletter.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Good.
All righty. Well, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All right, it's unanimous. And thank you very much for all your time and efforts. And if you have any contacts or people you run into who think that it would be worthwhile contacting me to speak to, or you have an organization that you think in town that might be interested in being able to be a potential sponsor, I'm happy to go speak with them. So, just keep the wheels turning and keep reaching out, and we'll keep on doing great things all around town. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Aye,
night.
everybody.